That was a hard boss, right, guys? So hard. Next, pick up our Gladius. And I'm gonna go ahead and not use this, because really, it's just another sword. I think it has a little bit more range than the short sword, but it's not like a new attack animation or anything. So we'll just go ahead and stick with it. Now we can go over here, pick up another life max up. And we just keep going here. See, there's another elevator here, but we can't use it yet. It's not powered on. We'll climb up here. I might as well go to the library first. So now we're off to our next main area. The long library. Got some Doa hands here. And we could go this way to get like a minor armor item. It's actually not that important. But there is something we can do that's very important once we get a relic later. So we'll come back to that. Now, hold on. Sorry about that, guys. I had to go grab my charger because my laptop is about to die. So these things are called ectoplasms, which if they touch you, they can curse you. And in this game, cursing just stops you from using your normal weapons, while in most other Castlevania games, it will drain your MP and stop you from using MP. Sorry about that. Now, because we're such badass rebels, we're gonna destroy these books. Why? I mean, technically they're trying to kill us, but because we're badass rebels, really. Oop. Oop. Dropkick. We have our next relic. Fairy Scroll, which actually gives us the name of what we're fighting. These magic teams stand no chance against the pure strength of two hands that can rip a phone book in half. Nope. No. Ooh, we actually got a rare drop from the book, which is a 2,000 money bag. Which the books, the normal books, I believe, can drop 1,000, and these magic tomes can drop 2,000. Ooh boy. Alrighty then. I'm gonna ignore these books because, well, might as well kill them for the experience. Come on. Fight. Yeah, we get to go meet our librarian merchant friend and sell this Yukon ring that we have.
It's been a long time, old one.
Oh, it's you, Master Alucard. What do you need?
I need your help.
Young Master, I cannot aid one who opposes the Master.
You won't go unrewarded.
Really? In that case, just tell me what you need.
Yeah, fuck Lord Dracula, man. If you could give me some fucking gems, yeah, I'm not gonna worry about fucking Dracula snapping my back in two or the Grim Reaper chopping off my head. Nah, man, I got you.
I'm interested.
Thank
So
you.
we can sell our gems,
I'm interested in this.
and we can buy
I'm
items. We
interested
need
in
this
this.
jewel of opening to get through some doors.
Thank
Now,
you.
besides jewel, we don't need to buy anything because you can buy things like potions and use items, and sometimes weapons, but like these are really not worth it. Some shields, some hats. The only things really worth it are, let's see, the Joseph's Cloak, because it allows you to use your system menu and change the color of your cloak, which again is like one of the customizations you get. But for example, if we switch this green cape, our cape on Alucard would turn green. But this allows us to actually customize the color. So the only real things worth buying, if you care about it, is the Joseph's Cloak. The castle map can also be useful. We'll go ahead and just buy it because we don't really have anything to spend gold on.
Thank you.
Now here's the scrolls I was telling you about before. So this tells you the button prompt to use Dark Metamorphosis. but I don't really use it anyways, and I don't care enough to buy it. We can also see our bestiary for the enemies we've killed. Destroyed Richter in 1792. Or destroyed by Richter, rather. We got blood skeletons that I was telling you about. They revive due to blood-soaked bones. You can't actually kill them at all. Bats, etc. Now it'll tell you their drop items. And as we can see back here, it'll say none if there isn't a second item, which means the bats can drop 2 of them, but the bottom one is usually a much more rare item with a lot lower chance of them dropping it. So yeah, we can you can see all the enemy lists here. Now what you can also do is go to tactics, and you can pay him to show you how, like, a general tactic from the game designers on how to fight enemies. So we'll go ahead and show you Doppelganger because I just made the fight a giant cheese fest. Now all the Alucards, I believe, in the tactics start with maybe a different sub-weapon, but the same amount of HP, the same amount of MP, the same amount of hearts, to show you that even at low levels and low like stats and stuff, you can still fight these bosses. And he's showing you a general tactic of how the AI works for this, where you hit him once and then he'll try to jump over it, and you can just rinse and repeat that. But I think the using time stop to cheese the fight makes it a lot more interesting and fast. A lot faster, rather. Man, look at this scrub Alucard. It's taking them like way longer than 4 seconds. Actually, we did in like 3 seconds, didn't we? But yeah, it's a neat way to see how the developers would have handled it, or how the developers suggest you handle it. Then once it's over, it just sends you back into the menu. Now, I might go ahead and, like, near the end of the playthrough, come back and show you all of them, or at least some of them, like how Dracula would have done it, because I think they do it slightly differently. Slugger and Gremlin was kind of the same thing. You just use axes. You hit Slugger and then you throw axes at them. Now that the Jewel of Opening, you can leave this stuffy old library. Now, here's where your path actually branches, and you have a few choices on where you can go. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it. So you basically have 2 choices of going to the cathedral or you go to the caverns. And I think going to the caverns like normal, but I'm going to backtrack a little bit farther. Forget the warp room. I might get the warp room and then backtrack farther, because it'll lead us back to near the beginning of the map, the same way that the caverns would. But if we do the caverns, we can't do the other pathway, so I'll do the other pathway, probably go through the cathedral, take the warp back, and then head to the caverns, which is not what I usually do. But I feel like it's a better way to do it for, like, you guys, like, to show you guys. Ugh. Spear is not fair. So first, before we backtrack, we have to get not only the warp room, but you see there's a relic behind this elevator door. We can't use it still. Even though it is running, as you can see right there, but it's not actually running. Here we have another big enemy. It's nowhere near as bad as the Armor Lord. He's just a silly Sword Lord. And there's a petrifying Medusa head. Luckily, I don't have to deal with that. Come up here, you can actually hit this and turn the elevator on. That allows us to come back down here and come up this elevator. Now this elevator is why I questioned the last elevator, because it's a very fast elevator, but the other one's a very slow elevator. I've never really understood why Dracula has a slow elevator when he clearly can just have fast ones. And now, what that allows us to do, that relic gave us the soul of the wolf. And we can now access new places, kind of, with the ability to dash and be smaller than Alucard. But besides that, it's not actually that effective to be in it. Your damage is actually lower than your normal weapons, I think. I'm not sure how that works. How like the damage ratios work. But usually I'm pretty sure it does less damage all the time than your normal attacks. And you have more awkward jumping and stuff like that. So here's a warp room, we take it back. Now let's go into this room that I actually passed up instead of showing you that it was blocked. So we can go ahead and grab this HP. I want to say HP because it's a heart piece. Heart max up, and we can see we came back here when we got our first weapons. But now the skeletons are replaced with bloody zombies. But what we want to do is go back. Instead hop in the warp room again. And since we only have 2 warp places activated, it will only take us back to the same place. Now we're going to be doing some backtracking here. Because, yeah, I'm still trying to make up my mind, and I have made up my mind that I want to do it that way. We all go way down here. Oh boy. Backtracking is fun. I mean, as much as I complain about it from time to time, it's like, it's still a thing that I enjoy about Metroidvanias, because where it's not 100% linear, you just go in a straight line and then you beat the game. It's, you have to unlock things and you come back and you find out, oh, there was this place that I couldn't access before, but now I can access it. And the feeling of finding out new things and new ways to go about doing things. Meanwhile, for a linear game, it's just like you go from point A to point B to point C to point D until you reach the game. And the game, maybe there's like a secret door here that takes you from point A to point D instead, letting you skip the other 2 levels or whatever, but usually there's not much surprise going on when it comes to linear gameplay. Now, of course, it's not like you can just choose your final boss or whatever. Eventually there is an endpoint that you reach, but there's several different branching paths you can take once you unlock certain relics and get to certain checkpoints. Like, for example, we had very linear gameplay until we unlocked the jewel opening, now allowing us to take 2 different paths. But while I'm here, since we're not going to go to the caverns yet, I'm still going to go ahead and go up here. Here, and you can see this blue door that we can unlock now. Allows us to step on this pressure pad. And you might have noticed those red metallic blocks in the floor. Well, now that we've done that, it's actually unlocked those doors. Or 4 traps, whatever you want to call them. And we come down here, we get an attack potion and a library card. The library cards are pretty useful. If you're fighting a boss and it looks like you're about to die, or you came ill prepared, you can use the library card as the only way to get out of a boss fight without dying. But in later stages of the game, it's actually it can be annoying because of how much you have to backtrack from the library. Now, down that doorway that I just passed up leads to the cavern that you don't want to go to yet. We just want to hurry up and backtrack all the way over here. All the way back here. Now, I could be wrong, but I think see, I'm pretty sure there's a glitch that allows us to get up here, Because I've seen a lot of speed runs and stuff in this game, and there's actually a lot of glitches you can do. Like, you can actually beat the game without having any enemies killed clocked on your kill screen here. Because when you're fighting a boss, you can actually use the stopwatch in a way that'll allow you to kill the boss, but it won't count as a kill for some reason. I don't really know why.